What's up, YouTube? Well, we got a lot to talk about today. Might do it in multiple videos. First of all, I'm watching an open letter to Erica Kirk, Candice Owen, episode 303. Now we know, or now we know. First of all, we've always known. Second of all, um, you're going into a very satanic area with talking about this third eye and the fact that street lamps would do this and that, blah blah blah. And supposedly you and Charlie talked about how you could astro project. Uh, that is not what you think it is. You're being sucked into some demonic things. What you were talking about, how he lied to you about meeting that person in Mar-a-Lago. Um, yeah, Erica Kirk was definitely the one behind that. Obviously, is it out of Charlie's character? Yes. What's he hiding? Money. Why? Because of her. She wanted it. It's that simple. And of course, you see how she does the sweet, innocent talk and all that. That's mainly how she would get him to do what she wanted. You could tell that from their work interview. You could see that he was mesmerized by her and that she was sent there to do just that. Not only that, she acts so robotic about everything. Her face, dude, did she have plastic surgery? Because a lot of people that have had plastic surgery have that fake look to their face. But I'm also noticing there's a lot of people that have that. I don't know if you want to call it blue or hazel. Some people try to call it hazel, but that's not hazel. The color of their eyes. JD Vance has got it. She's got it. That pastor that freaks everybody else got it. There's a lot of people like Bush and them. Bush Sr. had it. Bush Jr. has it. And I'm not saying everybody with that eye color, is that freaky looking, but I don't know. There's just something about their face that just, yeah, Erica Kirk was teaching. See, we all keep not connecting these dots correctly. Erica Kirk was teaching CIA operatives, high operatives, when she was 23. How would you get that job at 23? Think about it. Wouldn't they normally want somebody that's climbed through the ranks and had the wisdom and physical experience of being in there to be teaching people that? Why would they bring this girl in? She's fresh out of college, has no wisdom, just basically book smarts. And then to find out she's doing stuff with the Hungarian angels and this, that. Did I say that right? Maybe it wasn't Hungarian. Romanian. That's what it was. Romanian. Why is all this weird shit always coming from Romania and all that? Like that area. There's a lot of crazy stuff that comes from that area. This is just crazy. I mean, it's so in front of your face, it's not even funny. And people are still like, oh, I don't really believe it because judges haven't said. Have we noticed that judges and all that are just as corrupt as anybody else is? They're actually worse. Haven't you noticed that? Even the Supreme Court. Um, have we all forgotten that these are a group of people that have manipulated the court system, stole money, hurt children, sold children? We already know that a lot of them are cannibalistic. We already know that all this spirit cooking and all this bull crap going on in LA. Imagine that. Wonder if that lady lived in the Palisades. Looks like a big sacrifice, don't it? But also remember the saying of killing as many birds with one stone. And I'm sorry to use that saying because it's kind of, really, it's this one. But you know what I mean. Um, it's a figure of speech that you try and take down as many steps as you can with the first shot. But these people are taken across that dark line, like way across it. And the people are acting like it's normal. They're accepting it. I mean, you have people that were big people that were caught in the NFL trafficking children, buying children, and y'all are still watching the NFL. Y'all are still going to watch the Super Bowl, even though Bad Bunny or whatever shows you what they're about. I mean, school systems are still up and running, even though they attacked your children. What is? I swear, it's like everybody's numb. Oh, really? That happened? Oh well. What? Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, dude, the judges would have been beat up, the school system would have been beat up, they would have been drug out onto the streets because nothing's happening. I'm not saying that would have been their initial thing. They would have tried to go the legal way, but once the legal system started acting like this, they would have beat the living crap out of all of them. That's the Second Amendment. It's not just guns, people. I don't care. You idiots can believe that all you want. That's not true. Second Amendment is the right to defend yourself against evil, crazy stuff like that. Just everybody's been manipulated so much they don't even know what it is. They think the government tells them what it is. Boy, aren't you just a good freaking zombie? A good book said we were going to accept a system for peace and safety, and it was going to destroy us. That's exactly what's going on. Um, Back to the Candice Owens thing. Sorry, Candice, but you know we're going to talk about and bring it up just like you are. I do believe you're 70% good, but I also believe 30% of you is dabbling a little bit in that dark that you don't want to mess with that. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, everybody thinks that, and then they end up like, well, me, I don't care. Do me a favor, take me off this planet, please. Yeah, they won't. I do. But if I do it, I'm in trouble. So I don't have any. enough good marks to be in trouble. Or at least I don't think I do. But then again, I'm always harder on myself than anybody else is. So, yeah, it got me thinking about some things. Of course it does. You always have to check yourself. Always. I do. People can't confuse what somebody pushes you to do with your personality and character. That's not your personality and character. That's your defense mode, and they're activating it. That's a different set of rules, and everybody knows it. That's what I don't get about some of these women walking around saying, "Oh, you should respect people and their things and their body and blah blah blah." They don't respect nobody. They don't even respect each other. They don't even respect themselves. But these are the ones walking around telling us what we should respect, how we should respect, what we should be, what we shouldn't be. When did we let leadership role switch? Oh, when hell started breaking loose. Yeah. I'm not going to get into all that because I know these women and their overthinking trauma bullshit's going to be like, well, what about this? Or, well, what about that? You know. You already know. You just don't like the answer. Same thing Eve did in the garden. She didn't like the answer, so she went against it. Yeah, that was a big mistake. And that's funny because it's mainly women that were crying world peace and blah, 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 blah. And 80% of them are the most evil thing on this planet. Let's get this straight. I'm talking about women, not ladies. Ladies, you have already graduated out of that category. You are no longer sketchy. These are ones that have proven themselves, even when backs are turned, to have class, integrity, and morals. The right ones. Those are not the ones I'm talking about. Just because I say women. Yes, the devil trying to attack the truth. Yeah, that's a demon not wanting light shined on it. That's exactly what that is. You just hate women. Yes, I do. I love ladies. I hate women. Can't stand them. Yeah, I say specifically what I'm talking about. Other people try to twist my words because those words mean something to them. You're not the one that spoke of it, so obviously you don't know where my lines are. That's how they manipulate. When you say something, they try to make people believe that this is what you meant, that these lines are this way and not the way you meant them, even though that's what the words mean. Well, they can also mean this. That's not why I said it. Are you sure? Look here, you manipulate a little fucker. Yes. But anyway, you can plainly see that Erica was sent there for a mission. She wasn't sent there to love Charlie. You can see that plain as day. And if anybody can't, you're a fucking idiot. You can't listen to a 70% of the male population. They're fuckboys, and people take them for their word. Oh, because they seem like an alpha male. Yeah, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. You say a man isn't a man without his word. If he can't keep this or that, he's not a man. Blah blah blah. None of these fucking males that are cocky, arrogant, all those things. None of them stick to their word. They they will appear to, as long as eyes are on them. As soon as eyes are off them and somebody gets comfortable, guess what? You're going to find out all kinds of shit that you thought they kept their word to that they did. Yeah, he's not perfect. If he fails or says that he's going to do something that's not possible, he lets them know. Look, I'm trying my ass off, but this ain't working. I'm just not going to be able to make it because of time, whatever. Just sometimes things don't work out like you need them to. And it doesn't mean he failed. He'll most likely, if he can, wait until he gets the pieces to finish it. Then we'll finish it. Well, they take forever. No. Let's not forget that you guys deliberately throw shit at them. As soon as you know that they have a project on hold, you will fill their frickin' schedule up worse than you ever have. And then try to act like it's his fault that it took 6 months to get to. No. He just nonchalantly put it to the side because it wasn't a big deal, or at least he thought it wasn't, and took care of what was at hand that was important. And it happened to push things up. I mean, of course, don't put off for tomorrow what you could have got done today. But also, you have to juggle doing all that stuff and having time for the family, which that's a freaking, just spending time with the family itself is a freaking juggle and a half because of the wife. She wants to do this, and she wants to do that, and this means something to her, and that means something to her. Well, maybe all this crazy shit shouldn't mean so much to you. It's pretty funny. Everything that means something to you is spending a shit ton of money and losing a shit ton of money. Then you wonder why you guys are fucking almost dead broke after they do something you want to do. He said no. We don't have the money. That's a lot of money. What does she say? Oh, it's not that much. Only because she wants to do it. Really? Next time he wants to spend $1,000 on a tool that's going to make him thousands of dollars. Pretty sure we're going to hear the bullshit from that. Especially if it needs blades or extra batteries. Of course, it's going to make money or save money. But well, he went out and spent $1,000 on a tool, and he yells at me for spending blah 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 on that. Yeah, you want makeup. You don't need it. You want it. Tools are needed. Yes, they get household stuff done. Yes, they get neighborly stuff done, which is definitely needed. Like I've seen girls bitch about big jacked up trucks and what their husbands do, but you know, then you see their husband go out and pull somebody out of a snowbank or help an old lady with something that she couldn't do because she didn't have a big truck or this or that. And then all of a sudden, oh, he's her hero. And she tries to, act like it was her too. And you all should hear the ride home, that talk. If he says anything, some don't. I'm a smart ass. I'll damn sure say it. Weren't you just bitching at me for this truck? Now you're over there playing Superwoman? Shut up. Yeah. It's like you like attention. While you take her back to her expensive SUV she had to have that she did not pay for. It's our money. Really? Pretty funny. All I see you doing is sitting back pointing a finger. Yeah, it amazes me. They'll go out and listen to a boss and get paid. They'll hate that boss, but they'll still somewhat listen and get paid. Um, they'll go through hell with an animal trying to train it, or, I don't want to see these words have been used totally different. So Now, when you say that, that's what they think. They think the most negative about men doing it, the most positive about a woman training, even though it's the opposite. These women act all sweet and all that, but they train animals the way they want. It's hard to explain. It's better if I had it on video. One, that's Adam's job. It's taking over the man's lead. Nobody pays attention to that. Two, a lot of them abuse these animals. Nobody ever notices it or says anything about it. Or a lot of the times it is so sweet and so manipulative that people are questioning whether it's abuse. Like me, flipping their ears or their tail, just because you feel this breed would look more handsome. They're cute the way they are. Leave them alone. I mean, that's like somebody walking up to you and being like, "Yep, let's clip your ear off, and you know, let's cut your butt off, and let's cut some of your toes off, just because you'll look better." And they just do it. I don't care. That's your opinion, and it's bullshit. Cutting an animal just to make your opinion of it look better is bullshit. I don't care who agrees with it. That's how I feel on that. I mean, at first, I wasn't even paying attention to Erica's background or nothing like that. I just felt bad for her because her and her kids were present. Once you start really thinking about along the lines of witchcraft and sorcery and the things that they do to make certain things happen the way they want, and some of them are just that evil to make it look like, oh, it was an accident. They didn't know that was going to happen. But in reality, they wanted all that to go down right in front of them because they got a joy out of seeing it. And that's why she's happy like she is. Yeah, she's a freaking pageant queen and from the CIA. What the fuck are you doing around the CIA at that young age? We all know what they do with kids. So was she groomed into being what they call a honeypot? Because it damn sure seems like it. I mean, even though I've tried to tell myself, nah, and then something else with facts pops up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And once you start piecing it all together, man, it basically spells it out. And people are like, nah. I mean, how much more facts do you have to have in front of your face before you're like, okay, these people ain't putting this stuff that is written out by these people, showing these actions that they're doing, and the fact she keeps talking about, she's going to go with whatever basically the FBI and the courts say about her husband. Of course, they're on your side and they're a part of this. You don't think we know that? Then she tries to say that she's not going to listen to social media. You listen to social media any other time. That's why you're on it, because you agree with it. Right. That's the public talking. And pretty funny how more truth comes out of social media talking than it ever has anywhere else. We're the ones that said all the bullshit about the JFK, and look at that. Look at the stuff that's released. It's 99% correct. What we said about Butler, we knew. What we said about the assassination with that, you know, Charlie. They all knew. Not only that, Erica, this is straight to you, and you can do whatever you want with it, but you're not going to tell us what we sat here and watched. We watched it, okay? We know that that bullet didn't come from the front. We know that it didn't come from a 30-06. We know that it felt like a professional hit. They knew where to hit, how to hit, and exactly the angle to do so. That is professional. I don't give a shit if it was a hunter, a farmer, somebody knew what they were doing. Ain't no fucking way that dude on the rooftop did anything. Let me tell you something. I've shot plenty of guns as a kid, especially bolt action. And one of your first instincts when you set off a single shot is to pop that bullet casing out. It's almost like a, it becomes a reaction. You know, it's very hard to tell yourself not to kick that casing out and get ready for the next one or to clear it. Very hard. You know, muscle memory and whatnot, going with the flow. Yeah, that's what you'll do. And in that situation, how come he didn't eject that cartridge? Also, how do we know it wasn't spent before? And then how do we know he didn't carry something up there with it in him? And there is no way he jumped off that roof with a rifle, together or apart. And the way he's running across the rooftop when he first gets up there, he would have to taken all that stuff out of his pants and this, that, and the other, and assembled it, right? Well, he laid down and got ready so quick. It was almost like it was already there. I don't know why. It just feels like the Boston bombing all over again. It feels like the ones in the khaki pants and the black freaking jackets are the ones that are responsible. Erica, we know you're all about money, man. We know it. You don't get those trips, you don't hang out with those kinds of people and not be infected by the greed of money, and you are a female. You have like 50,000 things working against you without doing that, let alone doing that, just because you're a female, because that's your all's curse, material things. Well, maybe because you failed the test of it for not listening in the garden. You want it more. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why the seven deadly sins is about indulging, aka greed, drunkenness, which is having an addiction to overindulge yourself in things in life. And it can be more than just food or money. Did, I don't know if she noticed or if she even cared, but this is what the love of money does to people. This is why I've never wanted to be rich. This is why I've never wanted to teach my kids to be rich. And I was slowly learning that this lifestyle is the deception that the good book talks about. I don't know what to do. I'm already in the middle of it. Yeah, the money matches what he said about Caesar. Uh, the reason why he flipped the banker's table, nobody's paying attention to. That was the bad line of Jews. That's exactly who runs our banks today. And what happens if you flip one of their banks? What do they want? Jail. Depending on the details, they might try to take you out like Epstein or somebody else. Yeah. Government bank bailout? Yeah, that was a scam. They stole from their own bank, said they were in debt, and then got the government to give them money. Yeah, that's what they did. Well, yeah, the details and all that are probably way more complicated than that. But that's the basics. Why they did what they did. They are transferring wealth and draining the United States. Why? Obviously, they have a silent buyer or something. It's the same thing they're doing with LA. If they already own it, why are they going to buy it again? Wouldn't that not make sense? Right. And we all think that the government like owns the United States. It doesn't. These elites do. That's the beast rising out of the sea, which is the papacy, which is Europe, a sea of people. 11 horns, 10 horns, and then the one gets ripped out, gets replaced with a face on it. Which the one that always gets removed and has a face on it is the Pope. That's the one that you see the face everywhere around the world, and that's what the majority of people follow. Well, maybe not to the letter, but one way or another, their religion is based off of Catholic and Roman. Ethiopia, well, just like with the Jews, there's a bad and a good, so be careful. Yes, that's that line. In every nationality, every tribe around the world, you're going to have the good and the bad. And at some point, the bad is going to look like they're good. And I think that's already happened. But yeah, the same two groups that helped hang Jesus on the cross were the bad Jews and the Romans. And we follow everything they do. Even down to having a Senate and a government. Isn't that how Rome fell? Are y'all stupid? They're just setting it up to fall. Everybody's like, well, they were just trying to make it better, really. So why are they following exactly the way something else fell? I mean, I understand we're creatures of habit, but that's stupid. We're also creatures that learn from our dumb habits. Yeah, I didn't say all of us. Calm down. Some of us have to hit that wall 50,000 times before we're like, oh. And we turn around and hit it again. Like, that was a test drive. No, it wasn't. We just, I don't know. It's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, yeah, we're intelligent, but we're also stupid. All of us. Adam and Eve, they were intelligent, but they were also not experienced. They didn't have enough wise wisdom, even though it was given to them. It's just like kids. We give them wisdom. Do they listen? No. It takes them 20 years before they're like, oh, now I get it. And they still do it again. You've never done it? Yes. I am not excluded from most of the things I said. Notice I said the word most. For y'all to be like, yeah, he's part of all that. No. This is ridiculous. that's why when we had the opportunity to move to a different state with the kids and everybody else, she didn't want to. She had her gold digging scheme down and knew that it would work in this state. She knew it wouldn't work in the standing ground state. Who knew? I hate people pushing me to be something that I'm not. And that's exactly what they were doing. That's a catch 22. That's basically somebody in your face trying to be like, hit me, hit me, hit me. You know, why they're hitting you. But they're doing it with your kids, your life, the fact that they can flick their hair or give a sad face and everybody's going to believe any fucking word that comes out of their mouth. Bethany, yeah, this ain't bitterness, dumbass. And I hope you know that's a demonic thing speaking like that, trying to cover up things that y'all shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's what this bitch said to me when she talked to me after me and Tiff broke up. She was talking to me on Facebook and, oh, you're still bitter. Is that what you call it? I call that a shield for accountability. I told her right to her face, you're stupid. There was so much shit out there that could have saved your son, and you didn't even do anything about that. You just took everybody's attention they were giving you. You didn't give a fuck about that kid or what he was going through. Did you talk to me? Did you listen to anything I told you? No. Did you research it? No. You could have gave that kid lemons for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks every day. Giving a kid lemons, what's wrong with it? It works. You could have taken him to the doctors that were doing vitamin C injections for killing cancer, HIV, and AIDS, and flu, and it was working. That's why the FBI got him in trouble. But you could have saved your kid's life before that happened. But you didn't do that either. Even though I told you right to your face, this will fix it. But of course, I'm just an incompetent, stupid male. Where the fuck did you get that? I used to build skateboards. I used to run businesses. I used to help people out everywhere I went. What the fuck says incompetence about that? I could build shit that other people didn't even know how the hell I did it. This is what you women destroyed. Or at least tried to. I didn't know Tiffany was your friend. You know, just like I didn't know you were dating my friend, Jake. And thank you, because now you make me feel guilty for what he did. Even though I didn't know none of that shit was going on. And yes, you are the reason he did that. Yes, you are. Me and him talked the day before he did it. Actually, a few hours before he did it. He called me up there, and that's the only question he had for me. And I hate the fact that he went through that accident on Route 1, and he can't remember shit. Because me and him has had that talk. He was even working for me. And he just couldn't stop. And I'm like, dude, I have no fucking reason to lie to you. I damn sure ain't scared of you. We've fought plenty of times, bro. You have never won. You're cocky. And yeah, you can fight. Well, good. See, I don't mean it like that. These people were the ones that caught the attitude over shit. They wouldn't listen to me and wanted to fight, so we fought. It wasn't like I went to them and I was like, yeah, you're a pussy, I'm just gonna beat your ass and take your girl. No, I would never do that. Yep, even with somebody that I know, I could. I would. I've always deterred shit like that right back to their dude because I've had girls do that right in front of their dude. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, well, you seem so much better. Yeah, I don't care. You need to learn how to stick with your decision and stop fucking with it and pissing it off and then trying to act like it's the problem. Get over there and be nice. Stop hitting on dudes in front of them. Dumbass. Oh, what do you mean I hit on dudes in front of them? Well, obviously, don't be doing it at all. But definitely don't be doing it in front of them. If you want attention from him, just go over there and be like, hey, I want your attention. Come here. Guaranteed you're going to get his attention. You don't even have to say it like that. You need to put your arm around his neck and give him a look. He's going to come with you. I'm going to walk out if it's loud or if there's a lot of people around and be like, what's up? What's the matter? There you go. You got his attention. You can tell him anything you want. Wow, that's simple. Now, our deal is for some reason their brain clicks, they want our attention when they know our attention has to be somewhere else. Then they try and get mad at us. Well, you can't split yourself in half. Can you? No. Yeah, this is what they use for divorce. This is what they use to start fights so they can have a more dramatic scene to tell people about. Do all of them do it? No. Do a lot of them do it? Yeah. Erica is one of them that does it. Candice, I'm really starting to question you. Well, the stuff you talked about, black culture and this, that, and the other, you're just people living on this planet just like we are. You know better, you know worse. Some of you have some bad specimens, just like we do. Obviously, just we have a lot of similarities because we're all human. So that'll end that debate right there. Well, what about these people saying stuff to us because they got in your head, just like when you're oh, brothers are playing basketball or a sport or any type of competition or just being themselves. What do? They try to see if they can poke holes. Sometimes they'll tell you about it. Sometimes they won't, and you know that. Do white people do that? Yeah, they do it differently. Do Indian people do that? Yeah. Do Asian people do that? Yeah. It's up to the individual and what they actually believe in, how much integrity they have, blah blah blah. It has nothing to do with your skin color or your culture or anything like that. Now, some cultures and all that, they strictly believe in demonic things, and some of them don't even realize that. Kind of like the Egyptians. I think some of them knew that it was wrong and did it anyway. I think other ones were just like what you talked about. This is what we do. Right. To them, it felt right. Just like to Cain, what he did felt right. You know, it goes back to actions speak louder than words. They can be nice, they can manipulate, but what if their actions and their intent really pull off selfish, evil shit? There you go. Everybody tries to make it more complicated than what it is. want some beginning to end video, you're not going to get that. If you do, you're very lucky. But you know you're not going to get that. So stop asking for it. Use your fucking brain. Yeah, that's why even a lot of this real supposedly smart criminals couldn't get away. They forgot about fact, science. There's going to be a footprint. Now, once they figure that out, they've been able to get away with a lot more. But look at Clinton and all that. They've tried to erase all those, actions, and they're still getting caught. They're getting away with it because they're lawyers and they know how to laugh and play with the law. Nobody's even mentioned that. What brought that to the court's attention? I have not seen a judge bring that up either. That you know the law, you can dance right around us, and that's what they're doing. Same thing I see my exes do every time we supposedly needed therapy. And yes, it was the same line every time. You need therapy. Why? Because you're fucking with me and pissing me off? No. Because I won't sit here, bow down, and baby you? No. Then we go to these places and they're all trying to go to people that they talked to before or trying to set up. I'm like, wait a minute. That right there is showing that you're trying to get the first word in. But that's fine. You go right ahead. That's why when I would walk into the people they set me up to talk to with them, they're always mad at me when I first walk in. Then when we start going through everything, uh-huh, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. They're right there. They hang their head. Or they try and manipulate more. And the therapist sees it. And then they try to run around in circles to get her exhausted to where she doesn't even want to chase it down. And that's what they do. But you seem to know a lot about this. Yes, I've dated 4 women that do it. And I was very, very close to them. And imagine that. My rap sheet is 5. Jen, you don't count. You weren't one that I wanted to sleep with. You did what you did just to try and manipulate and paint pictures and get what you wanted out of the deal. You know I wasn't like that. And I don't know what it is about you girls. As soon as you hear a dude's not like that, you fucking do dumb shit like this to get it. I want marriage. I want kids. Oh, you're the greatest. Oh, if you don't marry me, I'm gonna propose to you. And it's all bullshit. Every bit of it. Yeah, you should have seen Jen's face when she said she wanted to marry me. I laughed. I said, "Oh yeah, you want to marry me, do you?" So why Chris? Why this? Why that? Why all these games? Why all the lies? You want to marry somebody that you just lie on? Every time I go to work and make money, I come home, you're mad at me. I didn't do anything. I went to work. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm pregnant and I can't go nowhere. No, you're pregnant and you don't want to go nowhere. Then you try to use that as a way to yell at me. What am I supposed to do? Carry you around on a little freaking stretcher and run you all over the place while I'm trying to do work? I mean, these girls live in fantasy land. They want to do all these things. They want to. You didn't meet a millionaire that's capable of having that type of freedom, and they know it. But that's how they act. And yeah, you'll give in to a lot of it, but then after a while, you're like, yeah, dude, I ain't got the finances to keep doing this. So you slowly start to, you know, back off of it a little bit. What do? Get more bitchier, meaner, and then try to call that honeymoon, and then be like, "You changed." Well, no shit. You got so greedy and spoiled. We had to change. You can't keep acting like that. I don't give a shit if I was a billionaire. You still ain't spending money like that. Well, why not? Because I said so. Fucking work that hard to build, stack up that much cash, and you're just gonna sit over here and spit it out like a cash machine? I don't think so. That's what we do. No, it's not. It's what you want to do. It's not what you're doing. Then when they marry, they're like, "Oh, it's my money too." No, it does support you. Yes, you do have money and stuff that you can use to get through your life that you didn't have to do anything for. Which means, yeah, I'll let you use some of it, but you're not going to come in here and take over all of it like that. You're just not. And this is why I don't want money. Oh, yeah, I hit the lottery when we were in Cedar Hill. I gave that motherfucker away. Yes, I did. We hit on the kids' birthdays, and I picked box. They weren't exactly how we picked them, but because it was all the numbers, every one of them, we still won. Yeah, Tiff was mad at me. I don't give a shit. I have a good business running. We have a great family. Bringing all that money into it right now would destroy us. No, it's not happening. Yeah, yeah. I was in my late 20s, had a strong back, good business, and thought my family was doing very well morally. You know, I figured that would destroy it. Also, that's why she was no, she was doing that stuff before and after that. She was doing that stuff through the whole relationship. I thought if I stayed with and dealt with it, that it would stop. Even though every other person I have encountered going through that, they tried everything in the book and it wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop. So, and then they used it as a game. That's exactly what Erica has done. Details are a little different, but basically same thing. There's a lot of women doing that. That's how they're ending up with all this money. People are like, "There's more rich women now than men." Yeah, no shit. Let's just forget the fact on how they got it. Yeah, legally robbing people. Yeah, that should not count. I don't care what the numbers say or the statistics on that. That see, this is how they fuck with reality. Because technically, yeah, that might be the statistics, but what makes that a statistic? That was a fraudulent move by females to trick and manipulate their way to the top, just like we said they were doing. And what did they say? Oh, we don't sleep our way to the top. We work our butts off. What did we find out about the age gap? They're lazy. They take off, and they just start fights. And that is true everywhere we look. What are most of the McDonald's fights ever? Females. What are most of the, you know, road rage things ever? Mainly females. Some men. Well, males. What are most of the car crashes ever? Some female being impatient or stupid. Then they open up this DEI, and what starts happening with aircraft and military, and same thing. Sounds like they just let this demon of destruction in, and they turn around like, "Well, I did that shit. Look at it. It's great, ain't it? Yeah." And what does she have over here? To the lack of a better word, left. all these people supporting what she just did, even though it was fucked up. Oh, well, she tried. She did a great job. No, she did. She wasted time. She wasted money. She wasted material. She wasted everybody's life and time that she can never get back. Well, men do that. Not all the time. And it is not like that. 80% of the time, they do it perfectly. Every once in a while, they have a fluke. And normally, it's due to integrity of parts or, hate to say it, but some woman fucked with it because she thought this would be better. What do we find out a few hours, a few days, a few weeks later? Well, that's why we don't do it that way. Yes, they do have to learn, but they also should understand that maybe somebody already tried that. Yes, I know every once in a while some people can pull off some weird shit. Not everybody. Yep, this is every morning on my 6, 7 o'clock, and